We will talk about AMC entertainment tickets, more interviews with AMC and Ape, and how Credit Suisse is the fifth largest dealer of AMC in the dark pool. We'll also talk about how they need to get back more than $46 billion worth of shares, of which AMC is a certain amount. As usual, we will start with the AMC and AP chart study to make sure that everyone knows what is going on and what to expect. First, the market went up today, and SPY went up 2.64. This is a clear sign of how badly AMC is being attacked. Given how the market is moving right now and how scared APIs are when they see the market going up, we've talked about how AMC and the market as a whole don't really have much to do with each other. We are still down 1.29 today, though. When the market as a whole goes down, people talk about how AMC should go down. This is a strange time in the market. In that case, though, AMC should go up when the market does. On the other hand, they want to use this to really boost all the other stocks while the market goes up, but shut down AMC, because what good does this do? First, it makes us think that AMC is saying the same thing over and over. This is just more heat being put on AMC. Today, we tried 6.8787 and closed at 6.88 again. You can see that the short-term trend analysis for AMC doesn't show anything too scary. This is just a normal price that we are looking at. There are two levels that will be hard this week. The lowest point was 6.23, and the highest point was 8.24. When we talked about the weekly prediction video, we said that it doesn't matter what level we test, because as long as we get to 6.23, it's better to be average. And if we get to 8.24, 24. Now that we have news, we decided to quickly look at Ape and talk about it before moving on to the news. This does mean that a lot more buyers will be entering the market. Even though the SPY told us that prices were going up by 2%, we were still under more pressure. We did have 9.96, and we've talked about this a lot so far. We still want to find a bottom 48, so we need to do that. Their goal is to bring down Ape, which they know is a current MOA trigger, so that it doesn't set off the Morats. This is another attempt to make it happen soon. But I'm sure everyone wants to know what's new today. Credit Suisse is the fifth biggest dealer of AMC in the dark pool right now. The most recent transparency data from the movie ATS Dartball was used to make it. We can see that Credit Suisse owns this, and it's clear that they have more than 349 trades on AMC alone. For real, they did trade more than 600,000 AMC shares in the dark pool. A movie was made about it by Tom Zulo. Of course, I want to quickly go over it and share it with everyone. I don't think this is true, though, since we know that the daily volume of the dark pool is more than 70% of the 8 volumes content. And, of course, in the AMC book too. That's why I highly doubt it, since they only have 600,000 shares out there. First, this list helps us understand how Credit Suisse is and could change with AMC. This is obviously very important for us because we've talked about how the collapse of Credit Suisse would definitely cause the fall of the economy as a whole, which would help the squeeze. What will kind of make that better now? What does a fire need? If you believe the people that are connected to AMC, they are the ones who made me talk about the dark pool, where no one should know what's going on. That is, small buyers like me can't see that the amount's in the 5 figures. I'm not sure I can trust the data because we can't see the price or number of shares they're performing at. I believe the number of shares that were moved is much higher than that. Trader Suisse is a big deal in the market, in case you haven't noticed. As of right now, it has the power to make or break the squeeze. This brings us to our second point, which is also about Trader Suisse. Right now, this could be the event that helps start the squeeze. The only thing that matters is if something helpful is about to happen. As a result, credit ratings worth more than $46 billion obtained the promise to resell through Super Talk. What I think will happen is that AMC will hold on to some of that $46 billion and will have to buy it back at some point in the future. They say again that they might have given us AMC shares out of the $46 billion, which is clearly not enough. I will buy it back from them if they have to pay it back, which of course includes these short shares. Without a doubt, it plays a big role in what will happen in the credit market today as a whole. I hope to talk about this subject more, though, because their CDs are spread out, The balance sheet of SF7227727 billion only has 42 billion in tangible stock at UNCQ, and the market capitalization is a pitiful 10 billion. The CIA members' comments show that credits were a very important part of the show. What's going on with Credit Suisse right now and what might happen to the market can be broken down into many parts and signs. It is clear that this will lead to the squeeze, even though it is bad for the economy as a whole. As if that wasn't bad enough, UBS credit default swaps hit their highest level in decades after Credit Suisse went bankrupt. The economy will go into a deep freeze, and the stock market will crash very badly. As we've been talking about, the way the market is right now is really a sign of hopelessness. Even though the market is up 2%, a lot of people are still just getting back on their feet. Today, Credit Suisse lost more than 10%. One bank, one institution, or one company isn't the only one breaking up. You know, there are a lot of signs that other businesses and institutions are showing that the market doesn't like them at all. An 8 that's too loaded and doesn't have any more collaterals. If they run out of money, they'll have to call margin, which means we'll have to cover their shorts, which will, of course, happen again. As I already said, these are just things that could cause a squeeze right now. If we look at this, we can see that Deutsche Bank is almost bankrupt, and that credit is another institution that has been brought up. Swiss is down 10 just the day the world economy is about to fall apart. For that reason, I can't say enough how important it is that we are in that stage of Mars right now. If the market does crash, these companies will fail. It will mean the end of these short trades and the start of getting our money back. Yet, I am aware that this is not only an important market issue, but it has the power to cause a whole squeeze. This could be the last one. I'll also talk about why we might not have a squeeze even if the market stops or crashes. This is because of its pushback. Everyone thinks it will happen tomorrow or the next day, but it doesn't. As this goes on, people keep hope that it will happen in the next day or two. Eventually, they will give up and may begin selling the AMC and HS. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm going to say that this is happening or that this is a fact that it might be having. Because of this, I think the best thing to do is to learn about what's happening in the market right now and what might be causing the squeeze. However, I don't feel strongly about it. If you have personal ties, you have to do that, even though I know it's very hard. It could make you want to sell your shares. And if you haven't already, the squeeze might not happen because they can cover the short positions again. None of these cash tips. I'm not trying to buy more shares, and I'm not going to tell Celsius.